can learn how to run in the same day. And they can run around 40 miles an hour, which is very fast, especially for a newborn. If you thought your toddlers were running away fast, huh? Now if you take a look on top of the giraffe's head, oh, looks like there's a few more of those babies up here to your left. Look at just on top of their heads, folks. Those are not horns, they're not antlers, they're called ossicones. The ossicones are built into their skull and they can grow fur just like the rest of their body. There is one other animal that also has ossicones, just like a giraffe has, and that would be the okapi friend we saw earlier, their only living relative. Now a group of giraffes, they also have an interesting group name, kind of like those hippos we saw earlier, but a group of giraffes is called a tower. Yep, a tower of giraffes. Up here to your right hand side, there is a teeny tiny antelope with a white underbelly to your right hand side. That is a springbok, and then back behind them, those are the white-bearded wildebeest. Now the springbok get their name from their ability to spring up to 9 feet in the air and up to 13 feet across. Wow. Now he is very little, but that is a full-grown adult. They generally don't get bigger than that. Wow. Even when they run, they'll still spring high up into the air, which is called pronking. And on average, the springbok can pronk around 55 miles an hour, making them the 3rd fastest animal on the savannah.
I like fast food.
Now, those wildebeest up there, they actually have one of the largest migrations of land animals in the world, with numbers up to 1.3 million. Yeah, I have a hard time keeping track of my own family traveling on vacation, so I can't imagine trying to travel with 1.3 million of them. Sounds exhausting. Now when they do travel in herds at large, it is referred to as a super herd, and when they stampede, they kick up so much dust. That dust cloud can be seen from space. Yeah. The International Space Station has some cool photos of it. It's somewhere on the internet. If you take a look up here to your left, these are the mandrill. They are a species of monkey with bright red and blue facial and hind coloring. They're one of the only monkey species that will bare their teeth as a friendly greeting, kind of like how humans smile. The majority of other monkeys, if they are showing off their teeth, it's usually viewed as a form of aggression, something like a threat or a challenge. Now, if you have seen, that is correct. If you have seen The Lion King, Rafiki is a mandrill. If you take a look up here to your right, there is an African elephant up there. Now there are 2 ways to tell that that is an African elephant, one of course being that we are in Africa. But if you do look at his ears, African elephants have a very wide curved ear that looks a little bit like the continent of Africa, which is at least how I like to remember it. While say an Asian elephant will have a smaller ear, it's a little more pointed on the ends, kind of like a little rectangle. So if you do ever need to identify an elephant, just take a look at its ears. Now since that road there is closed, we are going to take this older path down. Maybe a little bit bumpier. Looks like there's just a few potholes, so hang on for a moment. And we are just going to take this bridge here, pulley-pulley. That does mean very slow. It's a bit of an older bridge, but the good news is there's no crocodiles underneath this one, so I already like it much better than the first. So just take it nice and easy. On up, you may notice these very large walls made out of red clay. Now elephants, like the one that we just saw, they will eat small amounts of red clay. That'll help give them minerals they wouldn't usually get in their vegetation diet. Kind of the elephant equivalent of taking your vitamins. Now elephants are a matriarchal society. Their herds are mostly made up of females and their young. Male elephants are generally a little more solitary in nature, and once they are old enough to leave the herd, they only really hang around a few times a year. Now, unfortunately, the wild African elephant population is declining very rapidly every single day. Now, this isn't only due to poaching and trophy hunting, although those are very large factors. It's also due to things like deforestation and land development. They're running out of space to live and resources to survive on. In fact, right now in Africa, the land is being heavily mined for a mineral called coltan. Coltan is found in small electronics, things like cell phones, cameras, laptops, tablets, and other things like that. So please consider for mining in Africa and can help save what's left of the habitats of all of these beautiful animals. Every little bit does. Now these are the greater flamingos. The greater flamingos are one of the taller of the flamingo species, reaching around 3 feet tall. Now when a flamingo is first hatched, it will be gray and white in color. It takes them about a year before they really start to show off that pink plumage, which is caused by the amount of keratin in the food that they eat. Now flamingos can be found on just about every continent in the world, except for Antarctica. But I don't really blame them for that one.
Yeah. Buzzards.
Now when you do have a group of flamingos together like this, it is referred to not as a flock, but as a flamboyance. So this is a flamboyance of flamingos.
They're eating the flamingo food, look.
Ahead here, folks. Looks like there's some southern white rhinos. Please stay seated, my friends. We are going to get a closer look at them in just a moment. Looks like one of them is trying to cross the road. Now, of course, all animals always have the right of way.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Whoa! You see that guy?
Now, it's hard to tell because they are very muddy. But the white rhinos are not actually white in color. They do get their name from a mispronunciation of the Afrikaans word weit, which means wide. That is in reference to their very wide rectangular mouths, which are great for grazing. And they are much wider than that of the cousin we saw earlier, who has a pointed triangular shaped mouth, better for pulling leaves off of bushes and trees.
Well, they got food for them, maybe?
Now they do like to roll around in the mud, not only because it's fun, of course, but it will also help keep them cool and help protect their skin from the harsh rays of the sun. Kind of like having it easier to apply sunscreen.
Smells like Brayden again.
Got that on tape. Smells like
Now if you take a look up here to your
Yeah, you got it
left-hand
multiple
side, see if you
times on
can
tape.
spot. We are looking for any cheetahs that could be up on the hill. Looks like there's one up ahead. Oh, looks like there's actually 1, 2, looks like there's 3 up ahead. Wow. Now cheetahs are one of the fastest of the land animals. They can run over 60 miles an hour, but they don't have a whole lot of stamina. They can only really keep that speed going for about the length of a football field. Then they do get a little tired, need to lay down for a bit of a cat nap, if you will. Now, unlike other big cats, the cheetahs do not roar. Instead, they make a higher pitched meowing sound and a very soft purr.
I heard one.
Oh my God! I think I heard one.
Now, unlike other cats in general, cheetahs also do not have retractable claws, which means that their claws are always out. That'll help them with traction as they run. Now, this large rock formation